Before I start this channeling, you need to understand why twin flames are sent to this planet. Why do they exist in this planet? Why are we doing inner work? Are we doing inner work to fulfill our own selfish goals, or are we here for the whole community, for planet Earth? Do you have enough compassion in you to think that I have suffered so much on this planet? I do not want others to suffer so much, or I want to create a better world for the upcoming generations, for all the other humans. That is the actual meaning of golden age, actually, which we call Satyug. Satyug means people are selfless. All of the people are selfless. Everyone is selfless. Okay. So I'm going to get into this channeling session, and this was one question I wanted to ask, because if you're doing inner work only for yourself, only for your happiness, not for anybody else, then this is not the place for you. If you are genuinely doing inner work because you have a mission, because you have a purpose, because you want to contribute, because you are an empath, only an empath will understand these words. If you are not an empath, if you're a narcissistic person, you will definitely get triggered by it, no matter if you like it or if you don't like it, because the work we are doing here is to spread the message of unconditional love, heal the twin flames, get the twin flame out of their wounds. Okay, so if you also have wounds in you, it would be very difficult for you to see the perceptions of other people. Okay, and we need to see the perception of other people. And for the divine masculines and divine feminines, they don't need to see only the perception of other people. They need to see their perception and the perception of other people, which means they need to acknowledge both. If you do only one, only my perception is correct perception, then that will not work. If you do their perception is the correct perception, which is what you have done for a long time, and this is the reason why people end up becoming people pleasers, or they are society oriented, because they feel that other people's perceptions matter the most. And a narcissistic person also is a wounded person. Please understand, they are wounded too, because they are living in an illusionary world, a delusionary world where they need to do everything for validation of society. So we need to pity them. We need to not just pity them, we need to pray for them. A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome to my channel. In this channeling session, we would be discussing about the frustration one feels when they try to make the communication work, and the frustration one feels when they try to make a relationship work. From the divine masculine's perspective, it is that he is the one who's tried to make the relationship work. And from the divine feminine's perspective, it is she is the one who's tried to make the communication work. Now, you could be falling into any category or any type of twin flame experience. If you have been listening to my previous channelings, you must be already aware that there is not just one single type of twin flame relationship. There are many types, different types. There are not so many, at least basic 5 are there. And this channel is completely dedicated to spread the message of unconditional love, so that anybody who's looking for unconditional love finds some help, at least some hand holding, and they are able to ascend, they are able to, this is my contribution, which is obviously being done by the grace of source. I'm not the doer over here. I'm just a device. But the idea is that people should get the correct information when they are seeking unconditional love. Because we don't want anyone to be home breakers. We don't want anyone to be psychos. We don't want anyone to be obsessed. We don't want people to be stalkers. We don't want people to be chasers or to be runners. People should simply understand, first of all, what unconditional love means. What is this twin flame journey all about? Because there are so many people who are giving information about twin flame journey that there is a sort of a confusion, and there is such a deep confusion at times that people stay stuck in such energies for a long period of time until the day comes when they cannot take it anymore, they cannot wait anymore, they cannot chase anymore, they cannot run anymore, because some tragedy happens, they experience some kind of scandal, or some way or the other, they find their path and then they start looking for the information. So mostly what I have noticed that there are different types of people who land up on this channel. Some are in the final stages of the journey, and some they are stuck in the runner-chaser dynamic for a long time. Some could be stuck with a false twin. Some could have released themselves from the false twin relationship and they are in the process of attracting their twin flame. Some have met their twin flame, but the union, they think that some kind of union needs to happen. Some got married to their twin flame, some are dating their twin flame, some are in contact with their twin flame, some are not in their contact with their twin flame, some are in the harmonization phase, some are in the illumination phase, and some people, they have done this whole journey once from recognition to union, but because they did not keep up with the ascension lifestyle, they stopped doing inner work thinking that, oh, now I have attracted my twin flame, so nothing needs to be done now. They also fall into separation mode all over again, and then they have to start from the recognition stage again, recognizing that it's me who is the creator of happiness, that all happiness we actually generated from within and not from the outside world. Okay, so now what are the two people feeling over here, the DM and the DF? We will discuss the energy of this channeling first, and then we are going to discuss the solutions, whatever can be the solutions. So the divine masculine constantly feels that why should I be the one to make this relationship work? Why is it always me who is thinking about the ideas, or he thinks this? Let's understand that both DM and DF are having some kind of assumptions in their minds. Both are wounded. Please understand, both are equally wounded. Even though one person seems to be better than the other in terms of finances or sacral chakra or confidence level, and maybe the other person seems to be really good with spiritual prowess or intuition or just basic understanding of faith, technically both of them lack in some department or the other. So both of them have the wounds that match not only in opposite polarity energies, but they also match in terms of mirror work. This is the pure reason why they have both attracted each other. And also, let me tell you, as much as these issues are matching, both of them also love each other a lot. They have very genuine love for each other, even if they've tried to run away from each other or try to chase each other. In both the cases, when they both get tired of doing these things, running and chasing, and when both surrender to God, the more they surrender to God. So very important to understand, the more both of them are going to let go of their unworthiness, problems of lack of self-esteem, and from the DM side, ego, both of them will feel a lot of love for each other. They'll not feel so angry with each other. They are going to miss each other in a very cute way. Not like, missing like, oh, he did this to me, he did that to me, or the masculine is thinking, she did this to me, she did that to me. That is also a phase. Okay, so this twin flame journey, it goes through phases. If you are very angry with the twin flame, very upset with the twin flame, you don't want to see his face or her face ever again, that is also a part of this twin flame journey. Or genuine twin flamers are going to feel this way. But they also care a lot for each other, and they will soon let go of this anger. Sooner or later, we don't know. Everything is based on divine timing. And this is the reason why we keep telling all the feminines, because it is the feminines who are mostly doing the spiritual inner work. And we try to tell them that get out of waiting energies. Why do you have to wait for someone you love? Just live your life. Just do your things. Don't you have anything to do? Don't you have any hobbies? Don't you have any mission? Don't you have any purpose in life? Is your purpose all about the DM, all about a romantic relationship? So get out of the zone of romantic relationships. And why do we say this? Because every action has an equal and opposite reaction. The moment she gets out of that whole romantic delusional phase, the DM also gets out of it, because he is experiencing it with somebody else or with something else. Please understand, whether he is with someone else or whether he is doing something else, it is still the same thing. It's the same issue. It is the energy of not understanding what you really should be doing in life. So he is also delusional, and feminine is also delusional, and he is also in love with her and she is also in love with her. And no matter how many times all this information triggers you, if you are going to think that you are perfect and you don't have any flaws whatsoever, you are absolutely perfect, there's nothing you need to do in life, you don't need to do any inner work, you don't need to do any ascension work, I am sorry to say, you will fall into the energies of narcissism. Because this is exactly what most narcissistic abusers think and do. They think they are perfect, they think they are flawless, and they think my way is the highway. They don't know, or they don't want to believe that other people also exist. That not only my perception matters, there are other perceptions as well. When we do inner work, we remember this fact that as much as I have a perception, another person also can have a perception. Now it's up to you, whose perception do you want to pick up? That's the only thing. But even knowing that other people could have their own perception makes things very different. The energy shifts drastically, because you don't have that anger, that ego, that negativity anymore. And we all know what's above is what's below. What's within is what's outside. Okay? So if in your heart you have the feelings that everybody has their own perception, even a tree has its own perception about life, even a dog has its own perception about life, an old man has his own perception, an old lady has his own perception. Similarly, divine masculine can have his own perception, and divine feminine can have her own perception. If you become too rigid that my perception is the correct perception, the other person's perception is not the correct perception, what happens with the chasers? Okay, now there's a difference in runner chaser. Both think differently. The runner thinks that his perception is correct. The chaser should not also think that only his perception is correct. For example, the runner says, I hate you, I don't want to talk to you, you're disgusting, leave me alone. Okay? Or just go away from here. Or you're so stupid. Or you're so dumb, you do all these stupid things. Or you look like a monkey. Or you are so fat. My family would never like you. Or we have too much age gap. Whatever things they say, it is their perception. It's up to the feminine if she wants to believe that perception and make it real. If he says that you would never be accepted in my family, and she takes it seriously for the next 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, and lives under that statement, under the shadow of the statement, she will be separated from him. But if she thinks that, well, that's his perception, that's not my perception. As per my perception, he loves me and his family accepts me. Or if they don't accept me, they will accept me. But how does it matter if they accept me or they don't accept me? Right? I have my own things to do and I'm going to continue doing my things. In some cases, the masculine tells her on her face that I don't love you. Okay? Now, we don't want you to become stalker. In the very beginning, I said these things, that we don't want feminines or masculines to act like psychotic people. This word psycho actually comes from the word psychological. So some people interpret it very negatively, but actually it means that somebody who gets very rigid about certain things, they become psychos. Okay? My way is the highway. And in this my way is the highway, even believing other people's perceptions is quite possible. So they think that this person thinks that we have an age difference or we have a social status difference, and because of that difference we can never be together. It's not now only the perception of the DM. Now it has become the perception of the DF as well. So she thinks my way is the highway. Whatever I am thinking, that is the only thing that works. No other thing works. So guys and girls, you have to be very careful. In this twin flame journey, the societal programming and the parental programming and the narcissistic abuse is so strong that it makes you feel and believe on things that may not be real. And your potential could be much higher in life. But because of these negative dialogues or negative things that have been thrown at you since childhood, you end up believing other people. Now, we don't also want you to believe on your incorrect programming. So what should you really believe on? You would be thinking, I can't believe the DM, I can't believe myself, I can't believe the society, then who the hell am I supposed to believe in? Well, you are supposed to believe in your intuition. And your intuition is always going to be right. But the problem is that you cannot access your intuitive powers fully if you don't work on unblocking your chakras. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? You're going to continue being in the same energy. So how does your energy shift? Your energy shifts via your feelings. If you feel constantly that my DM doesn't love me, my DM is this, my DM is that, we have too many differences, then that is something you're feeling. Okay? If you shift from that feeling and start thinking that he loves me no matter what, and everything is fine between us, and it's all good, and it's okay, I'm gonna still continue living my life. How does this feeling change? First of all, a lot of things happen. Surrender helps the most. Actually, 100% change will come after surrender. Okay, because after surrender, your feeling will change. You'll no longer be dependent on other people. You'll no longer be codependent, and you will get charge. So everybody needs charge. Your batteries, your phone, your television, everything works on electricity, on charge. Similarly, you being an energy being, you also need charge. And that power, that charge comes from the source and nobody else. Please remember that. And that's the reason why I keep telling people, please work on source integration. That's the only thing that will take you further. And source integration becomes possible after surrender. Alright? For private sessions, personal readings, guidance on dream interpretation, counseling and therapies, please go through the description box first, and once you're sure, then write to me at thesunamoon@gmail.com. When it comes to twin flame intuitive readings, I prefer not knowing anything about your journey in advance, because we need to get the most accurate and best solutions basically. Why do some people think that readings are all about predictions, only predictions? But there are some people who are smart enough to understand that from tarot cards, you can also take guidance. You can also take help. Like, what should I do next? Or what exactly is the thing that is blocking my union? Or what is the thing that is stopping me from ascending? What is it? You know, these type of questions also you can ask. Alright? But if you tell the reader everything about your journey, then they know so much about your journey, it can affect your reading. This is the only reason why I say people don't tell me anything, because during the reading, we will definitely discuss your journey. In case of therapies, it's very important for you to share with me different facets of your life, and that's why we have assignments that people need to do in order to help them share without any inhibitions. And all of this information is needed so that we can heal the wounded inner child, because the wounded inner child is the primary reason why the adult is still wounded. And without healing the wounded inner child, 5D union is not possible. And without the 5D union, 3D union is not possible. You can get my book In the Name of Love, which has 5 channel twin flame stories based on the journey of finding your ultimate soulmate. All of this information is given in the description box with the links. And you can also check out my channel, the Sunamoon vlogs, which gives ascension lifestyle information, and Ramayana and Mahabharata diaries. Now these are the two epics. If you know these two epics, not only they are the stories of two great twin flame gurus, Ram, Sita and Radha Krishna. And I would also be sharing Shiva and Shakti's story on this channel. Although I have named it Ramayana and Mahabharata diaries, but Ramayana and Mahabharata diaries, it cannot be complete without Shiva and Shakti stories. I would also try to include Puranas and Upanishads, everything, but please go and subscribe to that channel first if you want to get those things I was gonna say, and that type of content. And yes, this is a perception that they both have, the DM and the DF. One person constantly thinks that it's me who makes the communication better. It's me who's writing the messages. It's me who's sending the cute memes. It's me who's making the phone calls. And if not that, then some of the people. Now, he, on the contrary, has a different perception about this relationship, which is why he walks away from it. He cannot do it. He feels that it's too hard. It's too difficult. It's not, maybe I'm not made for it, or maybe she's not made for it. So when he's trying to get away from her, he blasts at her, or he gives her all the negative energy, negative feeling, because that's the only way he knows how to get away from things. She should not take it seriously. In simple words, she should think, okay, fine, you know, he needs space and I also need space because it's too negative. Instead of calling him, contacting him and thinking about him constantly, because please understand, the twin flame journey is simply designed to tell you that your mental energy is much stronger than your physical energy. If mentally you decide to do something, if mentally you have strong focus, if mentally, you know, you can take care of things, then physically they will automatically happen. I know sometimes even I feel like, do I really need to tell them this? Do I really need to convince them so much? And I feel that no, I should not. So sometimes, you know, when I do channelings, let me tell you, this happens a lot. Some people try to stop me. They tell me that don't give this information. We don't like this information. They get very triggered by it. When I tell them that runner chaser love is not real love. Obviously it is not real love because it needs healing. Only after you heal, you'll stop running and chasing. If you want to run and chase, please do it. Who am I to stop you? Nobody is putting a gun on your head and telling you do this, do that, don't do this, don't do that. It's completely up to you, right? But the good thing would be that if you think through this, you know, and if you realize that mentally you can achieve a lot. That is why we tell people to do Karma Yoga, because you can do 100 things in a day, but at the same time you can mentally work on your source integration. And end of the day, it's only devotional energies and it's only source integration that is going to uplift you. Nothing else is going to uplift you. You can keep playing all these games, mind games, but it will not help you. Okay, so you need to surrender to universe. You need to surrender to source. Sometimes ego will also not allow you to surrender. In case of lot of divine masculines, in fact, even females have divine masculine energies because they've been doing so much work. They keep shifting from runner to chaser, chaser to runner. And the ego keeps fooling them. Ego is literally there to waste your time. Ego will never want you to find the truth. Ego exists. Ego cannot anchor in the present moment. So, if something cannot anchor in the present moment, they will make sure that you don't fall into the present moment. They will either use your past or they will use your future. And this is the reason why most people get depressed or they have anxiety issues. Anxiety is coming from your futuristic, future-related thoughts, and depression comes from your past-related thoughts. In both cases, you can't come on the present. And if you're trying to come to present, you'll get so scared. Like either you'll get so depressed or you get so anxious that you won't be able to make that move. You won't be able to shift. And if you can't shift, you can't shift your energy. So be very careful, be very wise, and do everything wisely. Thank you so much for being here with me. One love and peace out.